Welcome back to Faded Truths History, where we dig up America's buried tales of shadowed vengeance. Raw, real stories. History tried to silence. Picture the sweltering summer of 1837 in Liberty County, Georgia's pine-barren depths, Spanish moss veils, ancient oaks, and Blackthorn Plantation claims 2,000 acres of blood-red clay. Master Elias Blackthorn, a dual-scarred giant with a gravel laugh, cracks his whip over 180 souls, squeezing cotton gold from their dawn-to-dusk toil, his 3 sons stalking fields like hungry jackals. Eliza Vale, 42, a wiry Yoruba survivor, yanked from Africa's stars at 11 and chained across the Atlantic, rules as the plantation's vital midwife. Her rough hands deliver Blackthorn's heirs and field hands alike in the dim birthing cabin behind the big house, where magnolia nights pulse with raw screams. Quarters folk murmur of her second sight, skills from Carolina herbs, palmetto to ease birth, catnip to still cries, rue to sway fates. Her cypress shack once echoed with husband Josiah's anvil and daughters Ruth and Lila's laughter. 3 moons ago, Elias hanged Josiah from a cottonwood for begging fever medicine, framed as stolen glances, auctioned 16-year-old Ruth to New Orleans flesh pits, and whipped 12-year-old Lila into a swamp grave. July 12th dawns with cicada dirges under bruising thunderheads. Mistress Lavinia Blackthorn's waters break in the big house. Her 4th child, Elias's bourbon-sired hope for a dynasty heir. Panic bells haul Eliza through dew-heavy rows, satchel packed with dock root to fog mines, nightshade to slur tongues. Lavinia, milk-pale and auburn-matted, claws her silk 4-poster in labor's grip. Elias roars outside, "Birth him alive, nigger witch, or your hide tans the gin vat." 18 hours of hell unfold, Lavinia's cries slicing humid air, Eliza murmuring Yoruba chants, "Olodumare, open the way, ancestors, hoodwink the cruel." Midnight's blood moon crowns the boy, pink, squalling. Lantern light betrays him, coal curls and flared nostrils matching Suki's dark sun, born same hour in quarter straw. Mira's palmetto shack twins include 1 near-white boy from faded white blood. Eliza seizes the chaos, smears Suki's babe with white oak ash for false pallor, muffles him with clove rag, swaps him as Elias Jr. into Lavinia's arms. Mira's pale boy vanishes into twin shadows, quarters bound. Peach dawn floods the fields as cigar-stinking Elias storms in, scoops his heir, dark eyes innocent, and booms, "Liberty County's king lives." Lavinia suckles blindly, blind to the deepening skin tone lie. Eliza fades back, bitten palms throbbing, ghost whisper to Josiah. Their root rots first love, by vespers, quarters hum-coated spirituals. Swing low, sweet chariot, Holland shades tonight. The dynasty's doom takes root. Stick around for Chapter 1. Chapter 1. First fracture 6 moons waxed and waned over Blackthorn Plantation. The Georgia sun baking Elias Jr., now christened Clarence, into a mahogany truth no ash rub could forever cloak. By January 1838, the big house buzzed with whispers sharper than switchgrass barbs. Lavinia, her milk dried early from nerves, cradled the boy in rockers by the parlor hearth, cooing at first sight of his deepening curls. "My little prince, why so shadowed?" Elias dismissed it as field tan, barking at wet nurses to scrub harder, but Liberty County's gossips swarmed like gnats at a corpse. Reverend Hale, that sour-faced circuit rider, visited for supper one frostbit evening, peering over spectacles at Clarence's wide nostrils mid-prayer. The Lord marks his own brother Blackthorn. This babe bears curious traits. Elias smashed a fist through a pewter plate, roaring, "My blood's pure as Savannah gold. Say otherwise and taste lead." Eliza watched from kitchen shadows, her midwife throne unchallenged, dosing Lavinia's tonics with sly valerian to fray her sleep, planting seeds of doubt that bloomed into hysteria. She moved like smoke through the quarters, bartering herbs for loyalty. Suki nursed her true son in secret. Mira's near-white boy, dubbed Little Ghost for milky skin, thrived hidden in palmetto cribs, swapped lineages thriving under moonlit hymns. But Eliza's rage simmered hotter than pine tar. Elias's sons, those jackal whelps, prowled unchecked. Eldest Harlan, 28, bull-necked overseer with a bullwhip coiled like a rattler, doubled quotas post-harvest. 200 pounds cotton daily, or taste the post. Middle son Thaddeus, 25, sly gin house clerk with ink-stained ledgers and a gambler's leer, tallied runaways to skim profits, vanishing 2 field bucks into alligator bays for their tallies. Youngest Gideon, 22, pretty as sin with honey blonde locks, haunted slave cabins post-midnight, dragging girls like young Bess, 15, to his loft. Her screams muffled by corn cobs, emerging hollow-eyed or not at all. Winter solstice brought the shatter. Lavinia, womb swelling anew from Elias's rutting, felt first pangs on Christmas Eve amid Yule log crackle and eggnog haze. Bell tolled frantic. Eliza trudged snow-dusted paths, satchel brimmed with devil's shoestring to bind tongues, and black cohosh to hasten pain. Big house birthing chamber choked with tallow smoke, Lavinia slick with fever sweat, clawing canopy posts as contractions chewed her vitals. Elias paced the hall, guzzling peach brandy, bellowing threats. Twin sons this time, witch. Fail me and the dogs eat your spawn. Labor gnawed 22 hours. Eliza chanting low Yoruba under breath. Shango, shatter their pride. Oya, storm their gates. Wiping brows with rue-dosed rags that clouded minds like swamp fog. Midnight birthed twins, 2 boys slick and bawling, but fate's wheel spun crueler. Quarters quaked simultaneous. Field hand Jenny dropped a girl amid cotton bale straw. Laundress Phoebe whelped a boy, skin pale as buttermilk from some crackers seed generations back. Lantern's gutter betrayed. Lavinia's twins bore faint dusk tones, echoes of Blackthorn dalliances, while Phoebe's boy gleamed like fresh cream. Eliza pounced in delirium's veil, Lavinia raving, Elias snoring drunk in antechamber. She oiled Phoebe's pale babe silent with clove, daubed him henna faint for hours' disguise, bundled Lavinia's dusky pair into birthing cloths as decoys for Quarter's handover. The swap sealed with whispered vow. Josiah, Ruthie, Lila, 2 more roots poisoned. Dawn's hoarfrost glittered as Elias lumbered in, bleary-eyed, hoisting the heirs, 1 true Blackthorn twin already tanning darker under nursery lamps. Double kings for Blackthorn, he thundered, parading them before bleary-eyed kin. Lavinia, dosed into stupor, suckled blindly, murmuring, "Such sturdy lads." But Harlan squinted, nose twitching. "Pa, that one's got field-stink nostrils." Thaddeus smirked over ledgers. "Reckon we breed 'em pure next round?" Gideon leered. "Plenty of sport in the quarters for that." By week's end, Liberty Buzz turned to hornet swarms. Neighbor Pruitt rode over, cigar ash flinging. "Elias, your Prince Clarence looks like he crawled from my cotton rows. Folks talkin' cuckoo in the nest." Elias horsewhipped his stable boy on the veranda for overhearin', but cracks spidered. Lavinia took to bed with vapors, refusing visitors. Harlan doubled patrols, lashing 3 women for witch glances. Thaddeus forged bills to fund shotgun weddings, masking blood purity probes. Eliza glided unscathed, brewing calmatives that frayed nerves further, Quarters alive with coded jubilee. Michael rowed the boat ashore, Rowan dark secrets home. Yet vengeance's blade cut both ways. Elias summoned the parish doc, a pox-faced quack from Savannah, to test the stock. Eliza intercepted with bribed wet nurse whispers, but pressure mounted like thunderheads. One fog-shrouded eve, as owls hooted dirges, she knelt Josiah's grave by cypress swamp, palms scored with briar blood. 2 down, love, their pride bleeds slow, but they hunt now, guide my hand. Winds howled reply through moss veils. The first fracture widened. Blackthorn's gilded cage rattled toward ruin. Chapter 2. Web of Lies. Spring 1838 slithered into Liberty County like a cottonmouth shedding skin. Dogwoods wept pink petals onto emerald fields. Blackthorn plantations rose greened under Harlan's merciless lash. Quotas tripled to bury the cuckoo heir scandal in sweat and fiber. 9-month-old Clarence, Suki's dark-skinned truth, masquerading as Elias Jr., toddled the veranda with walnut polish from the Georgia sun, his kinking curls a daily taunt. The Christmas twins, 3 months old and dusky-cheeked, muled in silk cradles, their field echo tones fueling Lavinia's laudanum trances. Crossroads taverns buzzed like corpse flies. Planters spat tobacco, wagering blackthorns plow in the quarters. His dynasty's a damned zoo. Elias drowned doubts in bourbon brawls, pistol whipping a Savannah merchant for blood slander, but paranoia burrowed like chiggers, itching his dreams with visions of pitchfork mobs. Eliza Vale reigned from the shadows, her midwife crown untouchable. Lavinia's womb swelled again by May's dog day heat, ripe for the third deception, courtesy of Eliza's cohosh-laced fertility teas, that ensured conception while fraying the mistress's nerves. The quarters formed her iron web. Suki nursed Clarence in plain sight, her true son fattening in root-cellar secrecy on cornbread pop. Mira's little ghost, that milky-skinned boy from Cracker Blood, passed as a bargain orphan, thriving on goat milk amid palmetto hymns. Loyalty flowed like creek water. Field hands traded nightshade sap for malaria cures. Laundresses smuggled white oak bark for pallor pastes. Blacksmiths forged tiny lockets hiding swapped birth tokens, a curl from each true babe. Eliza's nights blurred into ritual, kneeling at Josiah's swamp grave under lightning-struck oak, palms scored with briar oaths. Their pride festers love, roots spread deep. The jackal sons closed ranks, hyenas scenting rot. Harlan, 28 and bull-necked, chained suspect women in tobacco barns nightly. Hickory switches drawing confessions. Name the buck who seeded mistress's litter, or taste the fire. He'd drag them dawn limp to muster, bellowing quotas that broke backs and spirits alike. Thaddeus, 25, sly as a fox in the gin house, audited wet nurse's kin with ink-stained ledgers, vanishing a sharp-eyed girl who'd glimpsed Eliza's swaps into Savannah pens for resale. Gideon, 22, honey-blonde predator with a loft reeking of corncob-muffled screams, cornered Eliza at the dawn pump, his breath sour with last night's conquests. Witch mama, your herbs whisper secrets. Clarence's mug screams field buck. Eliza locked flint eyes, slipping datura whispers into his coffee gourd. Eyes spy what tongues chain silent, young master. Drink deep. June's full moon bloated the sky as tensions snapped like overtaut plow lines. Elias hosted the Liberty Planters' Frolic, a moonlit barn dance of fiddles, jug wine, and backroom deals, to flaunt his pure lineage. Lanterns swung from rafters as wives cooed over Clarence, now a romping toddler whose deepening tone drew side-eyes. Fine lad, Elias, if you squint past the tar. Harlan bristled, cracking a jug boy's ribs for snickering. Thaddeus tallied loyal guests, blacklisting doubters. Gideon pawed dance floor daughters, vanishing one into hayloft shadows. Lavinia, corset strained and glowing falsely from Eliza's vigor bruise, paraded the twins, already showing clay gums, while Elias thundered toasts. Blackthorn blood runs gold, haters be damned. But Pruitt's platinum heir stole the night, paraded like a trophy stag, whispers rippling. Blackthorns breed swamp rat hybrids. Harvest moon rose bloated and vengeful on August 14th. Lightning split skies unleashing biblical deluge that turned rose to quagmire. Lavinia's third labor crashed amid parlor pandemonium, thunder rattling Waterford crystal. Elias chain-smoking cigars in the hall, pistol cocked for traitors, roaring litanies to a deaf providence. Eliza slogged mud-caked through howling gale, satchel bulging hex tools, devil's bit root for false strength, Angelica seed to haze visions, graveyard dirt for binding oaths, the birthing chamber choked with blood tang and camphor fug, Lavinia raving like a gut-shot panther, silk sheets crimson rent, contractions vice-crushing her vitals hour after endless hour. 24 hours clawed past, Eliza's Yoruba incantations threading storm's fury. Ogun, hammer their illusions. Yemaya, flood their truths. Isu, twist the paths. Rags dosed with rue vapor clouding minds like peat smoke. Servants slipped in with towels, out with soiled linens none dared question. Witching hour spat the prize. A girl, robust and bawling, blackthorn pale save full lips and nostril flare hinting forbidden dalliance. But the tempest birthed accomplices. Quarters quaked with bounty. Field lass Tilda labored in cotton bale straw, dropping twins. Boy dusky as plow clay. Girl faintly milked from overseer seed. Cookhouse survivor Bess, Gideon's hollowed prey, great-bellied from resilient spite. Whelped a pearl boy, gleaming from generations' faded white strain. Lantern's shuddering flame pierced the ploy amid rain-lashed windows. Lavinia's heiress echoed Tilda's earth-toned gums. Eliza orchestrated in frenzy's cloak, deluge drowning cries, Lavinia fever-blind and shrieking scripture. Elias drowned in brandy blackout stupor. No smears this time. She deployed cunning, powdered pearl oyster shell on Tilda's dark girl for moonlit gleam, rinsing clean by dawn. Muffled wails with sassafras oil and corncob gag, nesting the impostor as Lavinia rose in mistress's clawing arms. Bess's pale boy vanished into Tilda's twin swaddles. The dusky pair smuggled through back mud to Palmetto Cribs. Eliza sealed the triple swap with grave dirt talisman clutched in birthing afterbirth, pig bladder ruse. Josiah, Ruthie, Lila, 3 whelps now, their throne a hollow husk. Cockcrow hacked the deluge as Elias splashed in, bleary and bellowing, hoisting rose, dusky eyes guileless under henna's fleeting veil. A princess crowns Blackthorn, empire doubles. Lavinia suckled in opium stupor, cooing fractured lullabies. Sun's scented blood. Harlan thundered at muster. Mudblood cuckoo again, test every teat. Lashing a wet nurse bloody. Thaddeus forged auction manifests for tainted stock. Ledgers blotched with rage ink. Gideon rifled Eliza's shack at midnight, finding only thorn-barbed traps and owl pellet wards, cursing as briars gashed his palms. Liberty's hornet swarm peaked. Pruitt's brood paraded at church picnic, jeering Blackthorn's swamp spawn. Elias torched a rival's hayrick under Yankee arson guise, drawing sheriff eyes. Lavinia clawed mirrors, shrieking, "Devil's whelps in my nest, witchcraft," spiraling to bedlam. Eliza's sabotage deepened. Jimson weed and Harlan's whiskey-bred phantom twitches. Ink-spoiled Thaddeus's tallies sparked creditor hounds. Impotence mandrake in Gideon's stews left him raging impotent. Quarters veiled triumph in spirituals. Deep River, my home over Jordan. Farian shadowed kings. Hunter's moon waxed lethal. Elias summoned a Charleston phrenologist. Skull calipers quack, versed in race phrenology. Due October to probe heirs' craniums for Negro traits. Eliza bribed grooms for bolt holes. Quarters primed with fever brews for chaos. Fog-shrouded eve, she knelt Josiah's mound. Thunder rumbling, palms thorn-gouged, whispering, "Web chokesome, love, but calipers near. Steal my guile, ancestors." Gales whipped moss veils in answer. Kudzu deceptions strangled the bloodline. Blackthorn's gilded cage buckled. Chapter 3. The Reckoning. October's hunter moon hung blood orange over Liberty County, its baleful glow stripping dogwoods bare and casting skeletal shadows across Blackthorn Plantation's crumbling empire. Creditors prowled the pine barrens like buzzards over gutted roadkill, hammering gates with lean notices while Harlan's merciless quotas choked 4 enslaved families to dust, backs broken on cotton rows, graves dug hasty in unmarked swamp clay. Whispers of cuckoo heirs had metastasized into open jeers at crossroads taverns. Blackthorn's dynasty breeds tar babies, pure as a gator's privy. Elias, hollow-eyed from laudanum rivers, paced the veranda nights, pistol in one scarred fist, bourbon in the other, snarling at moonlit ghosts of his unraveling legacy. Dusk of the 15th birthed the harbinger, Dr. Silas Crow, Charleston phrenologist quack, clattered in on a spavined mare, vulture hunched with calipers glinting like duelist rapiers, his trunk groaning under craniometers, ether files, and yellowed race charts preaching skull bumps betray the savage within. Elias paraded the nursery like a prize bull at auction. 2-year-old Clarence, Suki's walnut-skinned impostor, romping with field vigor, gums flaring wide. 15-month Christmas twins mewling dusky-cheeked in silk cradles. 14-month Lavinia Rose, Tilda's earth-toned whelp, clutching rag dolls, full lips a silent accusation. Prove my blood Savannah gold, Doc. Negro taints jealous scums lie. Crow adjusted spectacles, smirking thin. Crania whisper unerring truths master. Frontal lobes foretell feral instincts. Occipital ridges scream cotton field heritage. Eliza's web-thrummed alarm through quarters vines. Spies in kitchen rags. Field whispers coded in spiritual refrains. She brewed pandemonium in cauldron shadows. Fever-few thorns spiked the dock's venison stew to haze his judgments. Datura sap wept into his flask for phantom twitches. Graveyard bone dust palmed by wet nurses into his tea. Ancestors scramble your measures, white eyes. Quarters seethed under moonless shroud. Suki rocked her true son in palmetto hush, feeding him contraband soubly. Mira's little ghost, milky cracker strain, passed as bought orphan, fattening on goat milk porridges. Tilda's dusky twins burrowed root cellar safe. Bess's pale boy thrived as charity stray amid laundress lullabies. Armor of loyalty thickened. Blacksmith Pompey would escape sickles under forge glow. Seamstresses stitched briar knives into hem seams. Children palmed river pebbles for sling stones. Crow struck methodical, ether rag first on squalling Clarence in the parlor's turkey rug sprawl. Calipers pinched toddler brow. Crow muttering notations. Frontal protrusion, Negro cunning, unsuited for cavaliers. Nasal bridge low as Congo stock. Elias's face purpled pokeweed. Decanter shattered against mantle. Lies from ether fumes. Probe the twins, Crow obliged, hazing the mewling pair atop lace pillows. Occipital swells feral, field picker's bone, not planter patricians. Rose writhed under steel pinch, her earth-flared nostrils damming. Temporal ridges buck wild, dynasty diluted to dregs. Lavinia shrieked from attic bedlam, clawing iron bars till fingers bled. Devil's midwife swapped my angels, give back my porcelain babes, which jackal sons detonated feral dawn. Harlan, bull-necked fury, stormed muster grounds pre-cock crow, braid-dragging Eliza to the whipping post amid 180 flint-eyed souls. Mud-air conjurer, 50 lashes loose your forked tongue. Post oak scarred from prior cruelties. Harlan's bullwhip cracked prelude thunder. Crowd ringed death silent. Eliza hung defiant, shirt rent to waist, iron spine unbroken. Lash one split shoulders ribbon red. She spat Yoruba venom. Shango, hurl thunder back on this dog. Lash 5 carved furrows to spine ribbons, blood-sheeting red clay rivulets. Lash 12 buckled knees, agony fire lancing nerves. Quarters snapped. Pompey lunged hammer high, skull cracking an overseer flat. Field bucks surged hose to clubs. Women hurled sling pebbles felling guards. Harlan pistol-whipped Pompey senseless. But Eliza twisted mid-lash 20, palming hemmed briar knife, seamstress oath gift, slashing his whip-arm tendon deep. Blood fount blacked his sleeve. She hissed, "Your brother's seed tastes my steel now." Bolting swamp ward as buckshot whined pine trunks. Thaddeus barricaded gin house fortress. Ledgers kindled in iron grate. Pure stock forgeries, curling ash. Creditor hounds battering oak doors with fist and writ. He cornered Gideon amid loft corncob reek. Hayloft shadows thick with violation stink. Paws gold crumbles. You loft-seeded this cuckoo plague with quarters rutting. Gideon lunged honey-matted, throttling windpipe blue. Thaddeus gouged eyes quill-sharp. Brothers rolling hay-fist brawl. Boots stomping corncobs. Teeth gnashing knuckles raw. Elias's shotgun blast from ladder parted them gore-smeared, buckshot-peppering rafters. Dynasty bleeds while you whelps scrap like alley curs. Crow bolted mare back into barrens. Calipers mud-ditched. Raving witch-skull sorcery. Negro hex on crania. To Liberty taverns. Posse horns wailed. Sheriff lanterns bobbed fog pines. Bloodhounds slavering Eliza's blood trail. Posses torching quarter fringes witch hunt style. She melted Cypress Cathedral, mud-gilled ghost. Quarters pipeline feeding swamp rat skewers. Sassafras brew for fever quell. 3 moonless nights she prowled surgical vengeance. Jimson weed dust puffed Harlan's bandages bred phantom legions clawing his sheets. Fever dreams of mud babes gnawing his throat. Mandrake root soured Thaddeus's well, shriveling ledger hand to useless talon. Ink blots birthing creditor lawsuits. Impotence thorn pricks laced Gideon's mattress stuffing. Shrieks of barren rage echoing loft voids. Elias unraveled solo in Big House Mausoleum. Truth Serum Rue Tea, Eliza's vintage dose. Unleashing Phantoms. Josiah's hanged shades swinging veranda ropes. Ruth's auction block wails piercing walls. Lila's grave mule clawing floorboards. The witch. Swapped every whelp. My gold's tar, he bellowed mirrors. Holstering double-barrel doom. Lavinia escaped attic chains. Raving nurseries clutching smuggled true heirs. Quarters pure blood reveals. Clawing nursemaids. My porcelain stolen. Black devils nursed at my breast. Harvest Eve climaxed under comet tail blaze. Eliza ghosted bog emerged, confronting Elias nursery threshold. Calipers talisman clutched. Heirs wailing quartet requiem. Your gold line rots, Negro master. Josiah's daughters thrown from my cradle thefts. Elias fired wild, ball splintering door oak. She hurled caliper blade true, carving duelist cheek to jawbone gash. Blood sheeting mutton chops crimson. Harlan charged one-armed berserk, bull mass lunging. Eliza sidestep low, Briar eviscerating gut, intestines spilling hay twist. His roar gurgling red froth as he clawed earth dying. Pa! Avenge the pure. Thaddeus swung ledger axe frantic from parlor flank, fox eyes wild. Eliza parried sickle gift high, Briar raking throat ear to ear. Gush painting wallpaper arabesques, ledger tumbling ink smeared as he choked final tallies. Debts, all debts cursed. Gideon grappled desperate last. Honeylocks gripped fistful, loft predator sinew crushing ribs. Eliza kneed impotent groin shatter crunch, thumbs gouging sockets till pearl eye popped. Then veranda heave, spine splintering plummet onto cotton bales below. Legs twitching stargaze final. Big house pyre crowned comet glow. Posse torched quarters edges. But 180 tidal souls rose flaming. Hose flaming pine torches. Sickles moon silver, veranda ablaze under air whales. Elias barricaded nursery final stand. Buckshot felling charge boy forefront. Then self-muzzle temple bloom brains silking dynasty's end wallpaper. Flames devoured Blackthorn spire, cotton pyre gilding liberty's horrified night. Eliza swamp fringe sentinel, blood steaming thorn scars. Josiah's ghost throng victory chanting Yoruba. Reckoning carved full love, their line eternal ash. Dawn sheriff ropes snared her wrists briar gashed. Phrenologist pamphlets winged coast-to-coast legend. Midwife's cradle curse, Blackthorn blood blackened. Empire ash heap, vengeance scorched immortal. Chapter 4, Legacy's Echo. Dawn's gray shroud cloaked Liberty County as Sheriff Ropes bit Eliza Voss's briar-gashed wrists, dragging her from swamp-fringed triumph through jeering crowds to the county jail. A fetid pine log cage reeking of tobacco spit and despair, its iron-barred maw swallowing her like a gator's gullet. Word of Blackthorn's comet-crowned pyre had rocketed coast to coast via phrenologist Crow's yellow pamphlets. Midwife's cradle curse, dynasty drowned in Negro blood. Taverns from Savannah to Natchez buzzed feverish. Planters bolted nurseries. Wives clutched true heirs. Preachers thundered brimstone on hexed wombs. Eliza sat lotus in her cell, back furrow scarred from Harlan's unfinished lashes, whispering Yoruba to walls. Olodumare, etch my tale eternal. Ancestors, seed the fear. Her midwife satchel stripped bare, but mined a vault of unswapped secrets. Posse aftermath churned chaos. Creditors auctioned Blackthorn's smoldering acres piecemeal. Cotton gin to Pruitt for a song. Big house husk to timber barons. Fields parceled to Yankee speculators sniffing war winds. Surviving quarters folk, 180 souls tempered in pyre fire, scattered like embers. Blacksmith Pompey, skull mended by Eliza's poultices. Forged north via underground railroad. Hose turned clubs slung over shoulders. Suki cradled her true son, ex-Clarence, to Charleston freeholds. Mira's little ghost, passing seamless as crackerkin in coastal enclaves. Tilda's dusky twins fattened free-range in Carolina swamps. Bess's pale boy apprenticed printer's ink, etching abolition broadsides by 1845. Liberty's enslaved whispered Eliza's legend and spirituals. Eliza rode the cradle over Jordan, swapped the chains on Massa's throne. Trial blazed November Courthouse Square under leaden skies, Liberty's finest spectacle since the 1822 Denmark Vesey Scare. Judge Amos Rutledge, pot-bellied relic with wig askew, gavel-banged amid mobbed galleries, torch-waving planters baying "Burn the witch," freedmen fringes slipping river-smuggled peanuts for the condemned. Prosecutor Hale, that sour circuit rider, brandished Crow's calipers like holy relics. Voss swapped 4 heirs with field spawn, treason against white blood supremacy. Witnesses piled damning. Lavinia, shawl-shriveled ghost from Blackthorn attic, wailed, "She suckled tar devils at my breast, stole my angels." Pruitt testified, "Blackthorn babes reeked quarters stink from cradle day." Eliza stood unbowed, chains clinking defiance, cross-examined shredding lies. Massa's rut roamed fields free, his seed sowed its own curse. "I birthed truth, you cradle fables." Gallery gasped. Rutledge banged for contempt, but seed of doubt sprouted. Whispers of Elias's own dalliances, son's loft rapes fueling the cuckoo hue. Defense, none formal, Eliza her own blade. Night prior, bribed turnkey slipped her devil's shoestring brew. Dawn testimony she spat unblinking. Josiah hanged for my plea medicine. Ruth auctioned to French quarter cribs at 16. Lila whipped grave ward at 12. Swaps squared their debt. Blackthorn gold bought with our marrow. Mob split, planters howled, "Hang her!" But field fringes, smuggled in as haulers, murmured Yoruba echoed amens. Rutledge sentenced midnight noose. Witchcraft and blood treason, hang till dead. Yet gales howled omen as ropes rose, gibbet oak. Execution eve, quarters underground surged. Pompey's crew slit turnkey throats silent. Bars jimmied with forge-prized levers. Eliza ghosted free under comet echo moon, swamp moccasins herding her north. Rutledge posse chased ghosts, bloodhounds baffled by sassafras trails, lanterns guttering in hex fog. Eliza surfaced 1840 Philadelphia Free Black Haven. Midwife again birthing fugitives' hope amid Quaker cellars. Her Cradle curse pamphlet, ghost penned by abolitionist Grimke sisters, rocketing 10,000 sails. Tales of swapped lineages toppling Dixie thrones. Years wove legend indelible. By 1850, Liberty fields grew Yankee corn, Blackthorn name mud to planters. Wives double-checked heirs' gums, midwives eyed wary. Eliza's ghost rippled abolition tides. Nat Turner cited cradle swaps in Southampton sermons. Frederick Douglass quilled invisible rebellions, echoing her guile. 1863 emancipation preachers thundered, "Eliza rode first, chains swapped eternal." She vanished 1865 post-Appomattox. Last sighted Charleston docks boarding steamship West. Satchel heavy with rue seeds, and Josiah's locket curl, whispering debt paid full, love, lineage laughs last. Blackthorn's ash birthed reckoning's bloom. Swapped babes thrived free. Clarence a Savannah preacher railing Reconstruction. Christmas twins, Carolina blacksmiths, forging freedmen's plows. Rose leading Georgia washerwomen unions. Eliza Vale, cradle weaver of doom, etched history's shadowed vein. Not with fire or blade, but womb whispers that toppled empires unborn. Her echo endures in every cuckoo heir rumor, every planter's paranoid glance, every spiritual row over Jordan. Vengeance, patient as kudzu, outlives chains.